Hello, Blue Jays fans, and welcome to the Rumor Mill. This is Craig Bourne here with you on Jay's Latest. We're going to talk all things rumors today because it is the winter meetings and day three, technically, but they barely do anything on Sunday. But as of me being out of the office yesterday, I got a little catching up to do. So, on that note, let's dive right into it because here's the biggest headline of all headlines that are going on, and that is the fact that basically every insider, Tom Verducci, Heyman, all these guys are seeing the visit that Kyle Tucker made to the Toronto Blue Jays sports complex down in Dunedin, Florida, as a sign of things to come. And they are basically just saying the Blue Jays are in it to win it, and they are throwing everything at it for the 2026 season. What better way to throw everything at it than getting Kyle Tucker in this lineup to come north of the border? So that is the rumor. That is the thread. That is some reality to it. Pick one or the other. I haven't heard anybody being on a plane yet, but Kyle Tucker is from Tampa, Florida. So there is something to a team with him, like, being within a so many minute drive away from the complex that he would train in the off season is very intriguing. And Kyle Tucker is the biggest talent on this, free agent class. So let's just get him going and get him to Toronto, and we'll see where this goes because they line up anchored with him and Vlad Guerrero Jr., potentially Bo Bichette, potentially others, is slightly insane, party people. Tucker has been one of the best offensive, defensive picket, a true five-tool player that can anchor a lineup. And even if his legs go a little bit, he has over this what will be probably a 10-year deal in crazy money. He is going to be very good, I think, for this. I don't even think he's going to be something like regressing like what we saw with George Springer. But as far as comparable baseball dollar amount deal, this deal is going to look very much similar to when the Blue Jays snuck in and stole George Springer from everybody in Major League Baseball. And through that roller coaster, it has been very interesting. But to that point, Kyle Tucker, I think, is just as good, if not better, than what we saw from George Springer through his tenure. And we're getting him a little bit younger, which is the big thing, too. I do think Kyle Tucker is a game changer for this Toronto Blue Jays organization, and I hope some of these insiders actually might be right about something. We'll see. So, speaking of insiders and other crazy fun, the Blue Jays rumors of Ketel Marte are not going away. The Arizona Diamondbacks shopping their all-star and trying to get something going for this season and pick things back up in a quick retool, not a rebuild. They've been grabbing some great good guys off of the free agent line too, but they're definitely filler people, trying to build around that young core and some of the guys they have locked up. I'm surprised we honestly haven't heard anything about people like Lourdes Gurriel Jr. potentially being traded with the wonderful contract that he just signed that is very player friendly, but there is some money eating there that could turn around to ensure that that trade turns around and gets you some prospects as well. But that is what the Diamondbacks appear to be doing. It's keyword listening on all these offers, but Ketel Marte would be a game changer also for the Blue Jays, especially if we somehow miss out on our guy, Bo Bichette. I don't think there's the likelihood that the two of them somehow end up anchoring this infield, but you never know. Crazier things have happened. So, moving right along, not sure if you saw the snubbing of Carlos Delgado getting into the Baseball Hall of Fame one more time. He did better this time than he did getting a whole 3% of the vote on his one and only true Baseball Hall of Fame ballot. But Jeff Kent, former Blue Jay, congratulations. Famous for being traded with David Cohn back in the day. Kent is the leading home run hitter in all of Major League Baseball for second base. Clutch guy, really good. Not terribly shocked, but I am more shocked that in a ballot that had Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Gary Sheffield, Carlos Delgado, Dale Murphy, Don Mattingly, Fernando Valenzuela, and then finally Jeff Kent, that out of all those name of names, and a few, in my opinion, should be sure thing Hall of Famers with Bonds, Clemens, and Delgado. I'm surprised that he was the one that got the 12 votes to be able to tip over the, contemporary baseball era ballot to be, enshrined in Cooperstown with 14. Delgado getting 9, which falls him 3 short. Um, I have since found out it's only going to be 3 years before he can be re-eligible on this because of the amount of votes that he did get. Him getting more than 5 votes ensures that he can get on that ballot quicker. Meanwhile, clearly the steroid stuff continues to haunt Bonds, Clemens, and apparently Gary Sheffield too, because they did not even get 5 votes, so they will fall off into the point where it's 5 years. So 2032, I think, for some reason, maybe it's more than 5 years. Somebody said 2032 is the next years that they are actually eligible for them to be on this ballot. But it's just, Delgado is one of the best home run hitters of all time, and definitely one of the best in a Blue Jays uniform. And he, just like Jeff Kent, has his own little category all to himself in home runs, and that he is the best home run hitter born in Puerto Rico. And it's just silly to me. It doesn't make any sense. The guy was dominant for 8 years, averaging 35 home runs, 100 RBIs. It's just silly that Carlos Delgado is not a Hall of Famer after all this. And I just can't say enough good things about what Delgado has obviously done for the Blue Jays. But when you play, I guess, in a career that, your homes are the Toronto Blue Jays, the Miami Marlins, and the New York Mets in majority, it's apparently what this spelling is going to be, is that you don't quickly get into the Baseball Hall of Fame, regardless of how good you are. And it's just wild to me that this voting did not tip that into the right proper area, because Delgado deserves it all day, every day. And Blue Jays fans know it. And it just feels like a slap in the face between our 2 best players, probably in the Toronto Blue Jays organization ever, are not enshrined in Baseball Hall of Fame, and that is Dave Stieb and Carlos Delgado. I'm not knocking Roberto Alomar or Fred McGriff, Roy Halladay, obviously. Roy Halladay is just as good as Dave Stieb all day, every day. But on that note, it just seems odd that the Baseball Hall of Fame keeps overlooking those 2 for the Hall of Fame. And consider this the official campaign of Carlos Delgado and David Stieb, as we join our friends to hurry up and campaign to the point where he can be in the baseball. Both of them can be in the Baseball Hall of Fame, because they definitely both deserve it. The pitcher of the 80s, and in my opinion, the best first baseman in Major League Baseball in his tenure too, Carlos Delgado. So, on that note, party people, keep on keeping on with the rumor mill. We greatly appreciate you hitting those like, share, subscribe buttons. Make sure you head over to Jaybird Watching Podcast, because we're going to have former Blue Jay rants, Mullenix, at 8 o'clock tomorrow. So Wednesday evening, 12:10 at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And we are going to be talking all about his wonderful career, talking about the wonderful amount of gloves that he carried around, being the utility guy, all those kind of good things. And he is honestly one of the best Blue Jays storytellers that you can listen. So make sure you tune in at 8 p.m. on YouTube. And if you haven't noticed, we also have some contests at Jaybird Watching going on too. So make sure you hit those subscribe buttons over at YouTube, and we'll get you a prize maybe. So, yeah, talk to you soon, and have a happy winter meetings, and go Blue Jays as always.